Man, I'm just not a quitter. Like I've never quit on anything in my life, and like I don't know. I just not, it's not an option. Like, dude, I probably should have filed bankruptcy, and like I'd rather just die before I do that. Like I'm not doing it. And I'm just not a quitter.
Welcome to the Path to Passive podcast, where we talk about building wealth and empowering lifestyle through commercial real estate investing for tech professionals. I always wish that other tech professionals reaching financial freedom had documented their journey along the way, so I'm doing it for the rest of us. Join us as we explore stories, many failures, and lessons learned along the way. I hope you enjoy and subscribe.
I was catching up on you were at GrowthCon, and I was seeing some of the different how you were talking about some of the takeaways and how you're on fire from that too. You're feeling momentum. It's not just about you know the deals and strategies and tactics, but I getting to learn more and more about you because I just finished one of your YouTube videos too from like 5 years ago, talking about how you were just kind of giving your journey from going to Texas A&M, going to undergrad, doing your history degree, but getting your realtor's license and being proud to tell your mom about that, and kind of getting your mentor, the old school, dude, I forget his name, who was telling you, drive over there to the title company, shake hands, get in front of people, et cetera, et cetera. But it's about team. So I think as I was thinking through themes for today, this might be a great way for you to get some of the insights you have deeper from GrowthCon too. So kind of give you a double whammy and trying to give you some value here too. Is, um, dude, you guys you have done a lot already. I mean, been in business since 17 years old. You got the brokerage. You got to go to residential as well as commercial brokerage, and as well as the masters in real estate. And I really like that. For your project, you got into self storage, and you even were like, "This seems pretty cool." But on investigation, you're like, this isn't what I want to do. So you were really, kind of true to following your interests, and I really love that. So, um, uh, you know, we're just diving right into it. Tell me, just introduce yourself the way that you would love to introduce yourself here, and what one or two things you would love for people to know about you, if you can pull those out. Maybe what's currently on your mind. Um, and then I got a couple questions for you, and we'll rock and roll.
Amen, man. Well, I appreciate the intro and you checking all that stuff out. It's cool to hear it again because, man, it's been a journey, dude. Like, I've been doing a lot, like just solely real estate for 15 years, and I've been working really hard, man. Like, I mean, really hard at it. Yeah, I mean, I was looking at my phone, dude. I talk to like my phone from phone calls to text is every 2, 3 minutes the entire day, and it's been like that forever. And like I've got a big network, but really, man, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a Christian. I'm a father. I'm a husband, and I feel very blessed to be in this business, and to me, it's deeper than money. It's like spiritual, and the people that you meet, and the friends that you make, and the connections. Even you, like, yeah, I feel connected to you, and I feel like you're a brother, even though we've barely met. But like we've had good conversations, and so I try really hard to be a built-in partner for people. Like I'm like trying to connect and help, and other people help me. This isn't like the Matt show, but like what I do is I just try to give everything I have, and it's meaningful and it's impactful, and I am very good at real estate. I understand real estate at a very in-depth level and a very diverse level. I started as a agent, I did appraisals, I've worked at leasing, I've invested, I've developed, I've been a commercial broker, I've got a master's degree, and my whole concept was like, "Man, I wanna learn as much as I possibly can, I wanna see as much as I possibly can, and then try to put it all together in my own way," and that's just me. Most people, from what I have seen, they pick one aspect and they stick with it, and that's really great. But I didn't choose to do that, and so I don't really know many people that understand as many aspects about real estate as I do. But there's always something to learn, and I'm not saying anything that I'm like bragging. I just like trying to give the facts. And so like I'm working on apartments that we're wholesaling. I've got a agent, a brokerage, and I got an agent question here. We're buying RV parks. I was collecting quarters at a laundromat yesterday. We're pitching a 452 unit apartment today. And so real estate entrepreneur, but like I just want to deeply help and grow with people, and it's something that I was always looking for. I wanted someone to like really take me under their wing, and I never found it. I have had a lot of support, a tremendous amount of support, but most of the time, guys would say like, "We don't do that," or "We don't do this," or "I don't know why you're doing that," or "I don't know about this," and I just didn't like that, and so I just kept learning and soaking things in and being curious, and to the point now where man, it's like it's more than just work. It's like emotional and spiritual, and I'm doing a cold call session yesterday for 2.5 hours, and I coulda gone all day, and people are crying, like, because people, including me, like, we need help, we need support, we need people in our corner, and we don't have to do this alone, and that's really what I want to be for people. So I have the knowledge and the experience, and, like, I wanna be somebody that's in your corner and gonna support you in real estate.
Yeah, and I mean, just looking at, just pointing out and agreeing, just looking at the level of depth, and even for myself, or a level of depth for you and the different not only asset classes but areas of real estate, like you had talked about, and other things I'd looked up about going to be an appraiser and learning about how houses are being, either it's being replacement costs or rebuild costs or cash flow costs, learning about the network, learning about insurance, all the different facets, like you're saying, is where you start seeing the world and the universe of it, and then carrying that through from, kind of where you started, the practical knowledge as well as the academic knowledge, right? Like you had been doing a bunch of stuff before you got into the master's program, and you had to study hard there, but kind of leveraging both sides to really continue to propel you, and that being curious aspect really does a lot than someone staying just in their lane of, well, this is where I'm at, this is what I do.
Right.
Right.
Right, man, and it becomes fun, right? You get to when you do it like that, you get to have a lot of creativity, and
Yeah.
so that's another thing is I've really enjoyed creativity with working with people, but also structuring deals, and you
Mm.
realize, like, I mean, I even Shark Tank, for example, like, I watched Shark Tank. I haven't watched it in a long time, but, like, I would get different ideas, and subconsciously, I'm not even sure how, but I know it's there. I've implemented, like, business structures or deal structures from hearing that, and so it might seem
Right.
totally unrelated to real estate, but it's not. Or, like, seeing somebody speak or tell a story, and then, like, "Alright, let's take that and implement it to how I pitch an apartment complex."
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, because it's a different, yeah, all of those. I mean, it's so key. And the more you're just I don't want to say consume it, the more you're just plugged in because it's what you love to do, it's what you're good at, and we all want to be in that area of that kind of unique ability, like what you're good at, what you love. And like you're talking about, what becomes a mission for you too, right?
Yeah,
So,
amen to that, man. I feel like I'm getting closer to that, and I'm really inspired. I'm still figuring out exactly what that is, but I know it's people. I know it's talking and connecting and being a support system, and so I keep going that direction.
you're getting closer to what that is, like, kind of fine tuning what the more specific mission statement is, or something like that. How do you mean that?
More like if I was hearing you right, like my flow state of like,
Yes,
man, I'm like dialed in and like no distractions. Um, and it's tough, man, because one of the things that I'm thinking of right now is a lot of people that get into real estate, they want to like get it fast, which I understand, right?
sure.
But like, dude, I'm still getting it, you know? And so like
Yeah,
they kind of give up, and I've said like, man, tell me what job that you have. Well, like I'm a woodworker, or I work on cars, and like it's like if I went to them and just wanted to understand the whole thing. That's how people come into real estate. I really
mm,
have noticed that. And
mhm.
it's really challenging, and so my challenge is like, man, I want to help, and I will, and I've never not helped somebody that reached out or needed something. I mean, everybody, dude, and I care more than they do a lot of times. But I'm not sure that that's. I don't know how that continues to play out. Unfortunately, like I
Yes.
don't know if I can continue to do that forever. I want to, like, deeply.
Helping out everyone, you mean?
Yeah, like, I mean, people that are clueless and I can almost tell that they're not gonna be able to do it, but I still help them. I'm not sure if that's even true. Like, I do believe that they can do it.
Right.
But there becomes a limit, I think. I haven't
I
are
see what
you
you're
following
saying.
me?
I do. Basically, if I'm hearing you correctly, you have the heart for it and you and you want to, but kind of narrowing down to who would be in the best position for you to serve and who also wants to help to, I'll say it, serve them, that can has the drive and want to also help themselves as well, not in a, kind of, transactional way or anything like that, but like, this is the kind of person that is the right person to be successful, and I know without a doubt that I can help them because I have the skills and the heart for it, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I guess even deeper, like, the probably the problem, maybe, I don't know, is, like, even the person that isn't that, I wanna help them get to that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
actually the one that I really wanna help get there. Um, and I
yeah,
can if they want it. Not it's not just me, like, they have to do it. God has to help. I've gotta
yeah.
do my part. But it feels like the right thing to do. I never wanna
Mm,
lose it. I was talking to my brother, and, we were talking about Jesus,
hmm.
and he's
That's
like,
Sam, right?
"Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
man, you're on it." But, like, he's like, "Dude, Jesus went deep with, like, 12 people," you
Mm,
know? And because 'cause I'm like, "I wanna go and help everybody I can," and it's like, "No, you need to focus on, like, small group." But,
hmm.
like, I can't really accept that. Like, dude, I got people on Facebook 2 days ago. Everybody's let me down, blah, blah, blah. He's got every complaint in the world. And now he's texting me all these inspiring things. And I'm not trying to necessarily build myself up from that. I'm just saying, like, people need that and they can be turned around. And I want to help with that. And I really, like, I'm like, dude, he's like even calling me out. I'm like, dude, I want to help you. We have to be efficient right now. Like, you have to follow my lead.
Yeah,
And just let me tell you, I'm not doing this to make money. Like, I wouldn't be talking to you if my goal was to make money. Sure, we
true.
could maybe make money and do deals, but, like, that's not why I'm doing this. And my partner's like, "Dude, you just need to go start a church." And I'm like, "Man, I don't know, dude, like, it's just like, I'm not there yet, but, like, I'm just venting, I guess, in a sense and looking for advice, but I do love it. I really do.
Yeah, yeah, I can tell. Talk to me about some of the takeaways that you got from, it was GrowthCon that you were at, right?
Yeah, dude, so good, man. My
Yeah.
takeaways, I really enjoyed, there was a couple billionaires. One of them was Jimmy John, sandwich company guy.
Oh, no
And
kidding. Right on.
one thing that I've been doing for a long time is, like, putting myself in this, visionary role and, like,
Mm,
trying to, like, expand and, like, build, an empire maybe, or I don't know the word, but, like, just build wide, right? Like, get this,
yeah.
get that, get this, and then find people to help me make it all work.
Mhm,
And I don't think that's the right thing to do from hearing these other people. Like Jamie John and Martha Stewart and Grant, they know all the little details. They know everything about it. They're meticulous.
mhm,
Eric Trump talked about the smoke alarms at their hotels. If there's dust on top of them, he's frustrated. And, like,
mm,
I can think like that, and I can notice those things, but I've chosen not to because I felt that they were, like, too small-minded.
mhm,
Um, and that almost like, man, yeah, I'd love all my properties to be super clean, but, like, it's kind of a luxury, of having extra money. You know what I
sure.
mean? But I've
Yeah,
noticed that, like, I think I need to get more into the small details. That's why I was collecting quarters the other day. Like, I'm gonna go over there and figure this out and stop just relying on everybody else and thinking everything's good because it's not. Like, I gotta dial it in.
yeah.
I really
There
liked, or go ahead.
No, I was gonna say understanding all these different levels of the business, so you going to collect quarters is understanding that part of the business. And, I think, like you were just talking about, it may not be, I mean, it isn't that they're the ones that are cleaning the smoke alarms, but they know it's there and they understand, they think about those details at that level of business too.
Yeah, and like, dude, we have people that work with us at the laundromats, for example, and like they've been doing something for a certain way for a long time, and like we might have to push them. We don't have to be rude about it, but like this needs to look better. This needs to be like this. It actually makes them a better person.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like
Yeah, it
it's the
raises the
right
standards.
thing to do.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Charlie Kirk. He was
Mhm.
like on a spiritual another level. I really enjoyed being around that. I really enjoyed this one lady who did a speech. I don't know her name. She wasn't one of the main speakers, but they did this speech, the speak off, and she was talking about like coming out of the closet is what she said, but like of who you are. Like come be who you are. Be vulnerable. Be real. Like stop hiding.
Authentic.
And yeah, man, I shared some stuff on Facebook recently, and it opened a lot of people's hearts to me in a really meaningful way. And that was what I was hoping. I wasn't trying to do anything other than be like, hey, I'm doing a lot, sure, but like I got struggles and I got this going on and I'm not perfect. And I wish social media would be more of that. And I've had some people judge me and say it looks like I'm going crazy and this and that. And like, I'd take it, man. Like,
Yeah.
especially if they're not a Christian or coming from a place of like trying to make me be better, right? Because it's like, I don't know what your foundation of what you're talking about is based on. Is it based on everything else is perfect for everybody else? Okay, fine.
Right.
So that was helpful, right? And then, just more than any of it really is like you start going to these conference just like we met, and you start seeing the same people 2 or 3 or 4 times, like, you start, like, making a lot of friends. And, like,
Absolutely.
really, man, like, good people.
Yeah, absolutely. On the authentic part, I think that's such a, I've started to see this pattern more and more and more. And there's stuff here we could point at, social media here for an example of, should it be what are people doing things for? They're doing it for clicks and likes and blah blah blah. But um tell me, I'm kind of curious from your perspective, if you don't mind sharing some of this. The, was that difficult to, or to kind of put some of that stuff to be authentic out there? I mean, I've seen videos of you and like it seemed like you were just putting it all out there. So I'm kind of curious if this was any different for you.
I think it was, man, I mean, dude, I that $4,000,000 loss, I lost, like, 30 grand a day or 50 grand a day for, like, 3 years. It
Mm,
was rough, dude, because, like, I should be so much further ahead than I am in real estate, even though I am, doing a lot. But like, I wasn't expecting that, and I never thought it would go to zero. And I believe there was fraud in a deep way there. Like it wasn't a gamble. I wasn't like I like Bitcoin, but like I felt like Bitcoin was a gamble. This didn't feel
mm,
like that to me, and so like I lost $4,000,000 and almost killed myself, honestly. And so like it was hard to, like, get to the point of, like, "I'm okay. This is good. I'm good. I'm gonna be okay."
yeah,
So that was hard to get to, but it wasn't hard to, like, just tell it once I felt like I was ready, if that
got it.
makes.
You processed it in the ways that you could, and it was like, I'm on the other side now.
Bro, it was like this article came out and this whole deal was like, "Hey, this transaction, it started as a this company is going to buy this company for $3.4 billion. Canopy is going to buy acreage for 3.4 billion." To the press release comes out in January of this year. Hey, they're closing the transaction that they agreed to, but they're buying the company for zero value. Literally said, like I've never even seen the term zero value. Right? In a press release, and, like, I'm, like, midway through the article, and my heart just drops, dude, like, 0
Well, yeah,
value,
what does that even mean?
0 value. My stock just disappeared, dude, gone. I was one of the largest shareholders, and the guys on this company are, like, John Boehner, Speaker of the House, Bill Maroney, Prime Minister of Canada, like, supposed to be legit. These guys all made money. They all made money. Like, I might have been the only one that lost like a significant amount. Like everyone else lost a lot, but not many people put 4 million. That's money that I made, borrowed on a line of credit, and gone. So like at any given time, when I was having my real estate stuff going on, if I needed 50 grand or 100 grand for taxes or this or that, like that's no problem. Like just sell, 1,000 shares. But
Yeah.
once it's gone and like I was crushing it in real estate, but now I'm not because I'm not doing brokerage transactions. I'm passing all the brokerage transactions to all the agents and I'm doing everything that's long term. And man, I could use 20 grand right now. I don't know where I'm going to get it. Like that whole process was like shook my foundation because I had fought so long to not be in that position. And then like
Right.
immediately I was there.
Yeah.
So a lot of lessons, and I'm grateful. I'm encouraged. I feel like it's going to be a part of my story. I've always known that, but like just to feel like even talking about it right now, it feels good, dude. I mean, it
Good.
was it was happening for 4 years, but I just kind of held it in though because it was a slow decline.
Yeah. What did you do? Was I mean, like you said, even talking about it right now kind of feels good. But was there points of things that you how did you stay vigilant? How did you stay and pull yourself up to getting level headed, if that's a fair way to, say it?
Yeah, man, I'm just not a quitter. Like I've never quit on anything in my life, and like I don't know, it's not an option. Like, dude, I probably should have filed bankruptcy. And like I'd rather just die before I do that. Like I'm not doing it. And I'm just not a quitter.
Yeah, the thinking of there's no other option, I have to find a way.
Yeah, 100%. Like, but yeah, it was tough, dude. It paralyzed me for a while, and I think I'm coming out of that over the last like 6 months, maybe 3 months. I gained a lot of weight. I just did all kinds of
Stressful.
things, whatever. So man, it's deep, dude, and it's when you study this business side of it, like it's wild what happened. And I don't know, man. I really I could probably go sue him, but like I just want to be done with it. Like I really
Mm,
do. I just want to like it's freeing now to move forward.
yeah, yeah. It's you can just let it go. So, would you
And
say when you s
one thing I wanna tell you real quick is, like, it's so helpful for people, even you, to, like, hear this story and, like, let me know that I'm heard, like, that actually means so much, and, the reason I say that is, like, if you find other people in that situation, the listeners, or I'm speaking to myself too, like, just hear somebody and, like 'cause if I go tell someone I lost $4 million on an average situation, like, "Oh, poor you." Like, I never even knew, I don't never even seen $4 million. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. But, like, it's deeper than that, man. It's
Yes.
real.
Yeah, especially when it's that day over day. That's the kind of stuff that you go to sleep and think like, "What am I gonna do about this tomorrow?" And you still and at the same time, like, there's nothing you can do. Once you invested, you didn't have any control rights or anything. It's in the deal, right?
Bro, and Biden came out and he was tweeting about, cannabis being legal, and I was at the airport, and, I was like, "This is it." My stock, like, it goes back up, like, $3 million. I'm crying, like, "I did it. I made it." And I'm traveling, and then the next day, it all just drops back down, and then Biden never does anything about marijuana, and it's like, this the whirlwind, dude, and there was a lot of that. But the politics side is also another learning thing, dude. Like, you can never gamble or bet on anything to do with politics.
Yeah. What did you yeah, 4,000,000 of your own cash for
4
sure.
million, dude. 4 million. Nobody does that. Like, dude, why did I put 4 million in there? Because I was hoping it was going to turn into like 100. Like that's how
Exactly.
my mind was, and I was crushing it on everything else in life, like real estate, everything. And then this one totally unrelated. thing brought me down so fast, so hard. Like I didn't have any kind of real estate struggles. A lot of people had real estate struggles. So I'm not like, I mean, everyone has struggles, but like I didn't have that within the one thing that I'm good at. And I just took this totally different risk. So dumb of me. I mean, I, I know.
That's I mean, so you were talking about even right now, it feels better to talk about, but some of the listeners to think about, even for the darkest days, so to speak, that, there's no other option. Just keep on thinking about what's next to make it work. I mean, like you said, in this case, so dumb of you, but the real question is off of this too, is what did you learn?
Oh yeah. Oh man. I learned that you can't ever think anything's 100%. That's for sure. I mean, I really didn't think zero was 100% for me. Um,
Mm,
I learned that, like, there was a point within when it was going down that I knew that it was wrong. Like, I knew,
mm,
like, "Hey, this company, the way they're communicating and their releases are not right. Like, I should just sell now and take a $2 million loss instead of all of it." But I wanted to just ride the ship. I made a gamble, and then I kept gambling on the same gamble, but the gambling odds got worse.
got it.
So
Got
don't
it.
do that. And then like, dude, just stick to what you know, man. Like stick to like I could have put that $4 million in so many different assets and like do that. Bet on myself instead of betting on someone else. I believed in the cannabis story, man, but like
Mm.
bet on myself and my team and don't ever do that that way. Like don't go so hard and so heavy because zero is an option for certain things.
Yeah. And you said stick to what you know. In your case, obviously, you're talking about real estate. Cannabis business was something completely sounds like on the side that you weren't really into that much, but the opportunity looked like it was there, and you talked about some of the people that were there as well. Is that how you mean that? Staying on what
Well,
you know?
yeah, I mean, I actually know the cannabis space very well. Like I do, but like I guess I know it well compared to 99% of people. But when you
Sure.
get even deeper, like you got to get these licenses and what does it cost and who paid for it and how did they get it? I don't know that stuff, the intricate stuff, and
Yeah.
that's probably where the actual value is, right?
Hmm.
I know like the sales volume and how many stores they have and what they sell and how many markets they're in, but I don't know the like core of it, right?
Yeah.
Like in real estate.
Right.
So that's kind of what I'm getting at there. And man, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you hearing me and doing some research and like letting me talk through it, man. So I just want to tell you that.
Yeah, of course. I think it's important to make sure. I mean, when we met at the Raise Fest, I was going to say Raise Masters Conference, but it is. We were doing some. We met at doing that breath work with Bryce,
Yeah,
and so I just found you extremely approachable, and kind of just coming from your heart and talking about things. I'm like, he really cares what he's talking about. That's coming out. So, and I got to hear about your partners, and your brother Sam as well. So, um,
amen.
I knew that I knew I had you on here to talk about, just kind of share what you're why you're doing what you're doing and how you feel about it. So,
You got a great
um,
memory, man. Is that accurate? Like you feel
yeah,
like, yeah. I mean,
yeah, I think it
to
is one of the
remember
things.
all that, impressive.
I appreciate that. And if I remember correctly, you and your wife, we were talking about some of the Geno Wickman traction stuff, and you guys are into the visionary, and she's like your implementer, or your partners are your implementers, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. And that's kind of what I was talking about earlier is maybe trying to not just only do that one thing, but like be more encompassing.
Yeah. Well, I want to also, if you could share some of your wisdom there too about, you did a lot in residential, and today you have done a lot in commercial as well. You do buy side stuff, sell side, as well as there's a lot of coaching that you had done too. But you talked about being in laundromats, and in as one of the businesses you've since expanded into other areas. Obviously, we're talking about cannabis investing here too, but just kind of this kind of adds color, adds some texture and context to the breadth of things that you've invested in. So, a lot of my audience is getting to their first, second, maybe third investment. Looking at maybe they've done a like have had a rental, or thinking about, should I do, like an, hey, Steven, I'm interested in investing. Should I do something like an Airbnb and so on? But these are professionals, right? This is Pat the Passive Real Estate Investing for Tech Professionals. And, these are the Facebook, Amazon, the Netflix, Google, these kind of companies where they're accredited investors, but their day job is busy, right? So, you know, kind of getting an idea of who that person is, you know, and thinking about, well, should they go do something like an Airbnb? Should they go and, do something like an LP in certain, invest passively? Um, Based on kind of that person, how would you advise someone like that comes to you and is seeking help of, Matt, like, this is my situation. How do you think that I would start investing?
Yeah. So I mean, you really obviously would cater it to each person. Like, what are they really looking to do? Because some people want to keep their job for 10 years or 20 years and invest passively, or some people want to go all in on, hey, I want to do what you're doing. Um,
Hmm.
I would really just encourage people, as simple as it is, like, you've got to just take massive action, and you need to really vet out who you're working with, and what their background is, and are they legit. But invest 25K or 30K if you have it into 4 or 5 deals, and but right people, like, get into these deals, attend all their
Hmm.
webinars, learn what they're doing, try to get deeper with each of them. Meanwhile, continue to look for your own deals. Like, real estate, in my approach and from my advice, needs to be an entrepreneurial play, right?
Hmm.
Because otherwise, then just go get another job within real estate, and then it's still just a job, right?
Right.
So you have these different components, and you need to be doing a lot of them all the time. Is how I've done it, right? So, like, you need to cold call people just to do it, just to see that you can do it, just to see how they would take your call and what the conversation would be like. Like, become a student of the game. And real estate's so easy to just jump into. It's not hard to jump into. You could
Hmm.
jump in with me. I cold call once a week for totally for free, and people can join, and we call, and they can call, and, like, if you're interested in real estate, there's no reason you shouldn't be there, right?
Nice.
There's no reason that you can't be calling on sellers and touring properties, and so, like, it's just really getting involved in everything you possibly can, and that's just what I did. Like, I was like, hey, I want to learn leasing. I
Hmm.
wanna learn the contracts, I wanna learn why, I wanna learn, and it became something that, like, mattered, and it's like you're building off the building blocks. So that's if you wanna go, like, full time, like, just dabble, just dabble. And then if you just wanna be passive, like, vet out the operators, as many as you can, in a really deep way, and start off slowly with different ones. And dude, that's a great role. Like, I mean, what are we after in real estate? Like, rent checks without doing any work.
That's
And
it.
LPs get that immediately. So
Yeah.
don't overlook it, and think that, like, that's back to the not trying to get it all down immediately. You don't have to be a GP. You don't have to do what I'm doing. It's hard. If you want to do what I'm doing, you definitely can't have a job,
Yep.
right? And so, like, there's two different ways to think about it, but you can find a lot of great people, and you can bring, like, I guess another thing I would say is, like, find 5 people or maybe 7 that you really respect what they're doing, and, like, go add tremendous amount of value for them in a real way. That alone will be, like, worth its weight tenfold almost immediately.
Yeah. There's kind of two big points there that you were talking about of, if you want to do active in a certain way, then go do the cold calls, do the, oh my God, door knocking, do send some letters, figure out how to work with, other people to leverage them to send some letters for you to get some more leverage to save some of your time, but kind of do both, and kind of dive in it there. But then also, like you said, don't, uh, you know, scoff at being a limited partner or invest passively in deals as well. But one of those questions is, well, Matt, like, what do I think? Which one should I go? Which route should I go? And you're talking about goals here, which is important. And well, the goal is to make more money and have to do less work, man. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so if someone's trying to figure out what that should be and where they should start, if they're working, 40, 50 hours to start with, how do you kind of ask them some questions for them, whoever's listening, to try and determine some of that for themselves?
I mean, there's such different paths. So like to me, it should be pretty clear. For if you're working a job and you keep looking at the clock, that's what I was running from. Like I just hated looking at the clock. I never look. The only thing I look at the clock is like I gotta get on with Steven and have some fun. But like if you don't like that and you don't want the security and you're a risk taker, like then the inverse the answer is like super clear, right? And it's just that like I mean, this really isn't meant for everybody, dude. Trust me, especially when I was going through the struggle. Been so many times where I'm like, and I'm like, but I feel led to like do something. But like, I look at the guy that's mailman walking around passing out mail. I'm like, that dude has got it figured out, man. I love walking and being outside, and like we glorify in our culture, like you got to be someone with money and you got to do this and that. Like you don't. So like, it really comes down to your core. And if you like the freedom, if you like to take risk, and you really like to get creative, real estate's amazing for that. And you like business, obviously, then it should just be calling you and like super clear. But if you're
Mhm.
like too scared, and I mean, maybe you can get there. I don't know, but like you can't be scared. Like, well, you can be scared. Like, dude, I was scared to knock on doors, and I was scared to cold call like, as much as anybody. But I like wanted to just get that over with. Like I wanted to
Mhm.
knock on the door just to freaking say I did it. And I wanted to go knock on the next one. I wanted to be part of my story. Like it's like part of the story, but part of like being a student of the game, and like it needs to be tough. Dude, if real estate hasn't made you cry, like broken you down, then I don't think you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, I would agree.
Do you agree?
I do agree. Um,
Mean, dude, because people are like a little bit frustrated. Like, dude, you got no idea. Like, you're just struggling on the basic level. Because I talk to these people and right, they're like, I don't know what to do. It's like I can give some. If anybody really wants to do anything, I could give them immediate action steps all day, and like they're either going to quit or they're going to keep going. But like,
mhm,
go cold call 100 sellers. Just do it. Just do it to do it. You don't have to go make money on it. But like, dude, it also becomes really fun. Like the way I approach it, of like, dude, I could get on the call with anybody. I mean, you could
mm.
give me your neighbor's phone number, and I could cold call him right now, and we're gonna figure something out
What's
because
your
I'm
approach?
coming. Yeah, it's like, "Hey, man, this is who I am. You got some time to talk?" And then I just start navigating. The conversation's not going exactly where I want it. It's coming from a place of like, "I'm the real deal. I'm here to add value for you. What do you have going on? Let's talk through this." And literally, dude, it just every single time it leads to something of value. Maybe they're not investing in my deal or I'm buying a property for them, but maybe I'm introducing them to this person. But when you're planting these seeds of value, they grow. And they don't have to grow for me, but people see that and they respect it. And then sometimes it just works out perfectly. Yesterday I was doing a call and this girl was like, "How do you cold call somebody that you want to get to invest in a deal?" And I was like, I honestly don't know how to tell you the specifics, but I can show you and we'll do it right now. And so I was on a Brad Sumrock call 2 nights ago.
Mhm.
People were
Nice,
posting their phone numbers and their emails. I wrote them down and then I just called them, right? And this
nice.
guy immediately is asking me questions. He's like, "So what do you do?" Like, and I'm just going with it, right? Are you a GP or an LP? Well, I'm a GP. Sometimes I do LP. You got any deals? Yeah, I got a deal right now. Tell me about it. And then like he ends up wanting to invest. I'm like, whoa, man!
Yeah,
Like that's a
I love it.
but that's a testament to like just doing it, right? There's 100 calls that probably go bad, but they actually they very rarely go bad for me now because I'm just coming from a place of how am I going to help? I'm really not selling them on anything. And if they're just willing to have a conversation, then we can figure something out. If they don't want to have a conversation, that's different.
Yeah.
But it can go any which way, dude. I mean, and that's the thing about being the entrepreneur is like, hey, you need a realtor over here. you know anybody who's investing? Are you investing? You got anything you want to sell? Do you know anybody who
Just
owns
keep
car washes?
connecting.
I'm doing these RV parks. Like, you ever
Yep.
been to a laundromat? Like, who knows, man?
Yeah. And that's like I love that too because that becomes the practical approach of like, your network is your net worth kind of thing. It becomes that practical approach of it's just like just go talk to people, see who you can serve, do things for people. It doesn't have to be self-serving for you, but just if they don't invest with you, maybe you can connect them with a great, I don't know, laundromat that they might need.
And I think maybe that's part of it, dude, is like we all know that those things are valuable, but they don't return immediate cash right
Right.
away, almost ever. And so if you're trying to get into it and make it work, that does become hard.
Right, transactional. That's how it becomes transactional if you go in with, "I need it now."
Yeah, but you might really need it. Like you might need the money, right? And so like that's why I mean it's a gamble. There's a faith in it. If it's pulling you, like you're probably right for it.
Mhm.
You will do well if you like believe in these things and you do them. Like there's no question about it. Just takes time, you
Yeah.
know?
I think that fair that it also probably depends on the thing that you're, trying to sell or serve with, as an example, right? Like, if you're out I don't know, if you're trying to door to door, call to call to selling knives, well, you can probably move a whole lot more knives a lot quicker and make cash on that than if you're trying to, you know, raise capital and make money on
Dude,
that.
yeah. That's the thing is like we're talking about like I lost 4 million as we talked about, but like, dude, I can make that back on one deal. And I'm not
Hmm.
saying that I am gonna do that on one deal, but like I believe that. And my point of that is like that's the business that we are in with real estate. We're talking about million, 100,000, five hundred
Right.
thousand, 4 million. So with those kind of numbers, that ain't easy. There
Hmm.
requires a lot to that,
A lot of
but
skill.
a lot of skill, a lot of time, a lot of effort. But then the money making actually does become easy at some point. But, like, it's hard to do this. It's hard to like, hard work in the sense of, like, people and I've done it, right? You show up and you work with your hands and you make 60 grand a year and you're dying and you're freaking sore. Like, that level of effort into real estate will bring 600,000 easily. But
Hmm.
because it's kinda easy and you're not working with your hands and you don't have to show up, then maybe you get lazy and then you don't get that level of work. But if you showed up and you worked 8 hours a day grinding on real estate, there's no doubt that you're going to do very well in it. But most people don't even want that, right? They want to get into real estate because they want time freedom. So it's like,
Right.
take your
Right.
pick.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's a Jim Rohn quote, which is, "It's easy, but the thing with those things, it's easy to do, but it's easy not to do."
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's definitely a level of expectation, right? Of, the reason why it's more difficult is because you thought it would be easy.
How many people, I mean, I'm sitting here telling I'm willing to help, but like, you know how many people have come to me and told me that they want to add, like they genuinely want to add value for me, and then they like don't give up on that, like zero.
So that was my second question. I was gonna ask you about the decision making about doing something that was more active passive, and that second one, I love to ask this question to different people because it's kind of a really open ended question that I'll just ask it, which is talk to me about your perspective on adding value to someone.
Yeah, I
How
think
do
it's
how do they go about doing that? What does that even mean? And
well,
um,
yeah, it's a long game, dude, and like I'm talking about zero. Like I've got partners and that's different, right? Because we're like partnered and but like I'm willing to support people and guide them and people come to me, but they always give up, like every time. And that's just not what I do. Like I add value for people for years and with no expectations. And they could be in something totally different than what I do. But that's the approach. And like most people just disappear because it's so short sighted.
mm,
And they
mhm,
want, dude, I'm talking to guys that are like so hungry. They are, but they want to buy these $20 million apartment complexes and they want me to like sign on the loan, and I'm open to it, honestly. But like, I need them to like do a lot to like they can't just pull the deal off of cbre.com. Like they can do that, and I'll work through it with them. But then they give up when they brought me 10, and I'm like, what's the motivation? Can we talk to the broker? This and that. Then they just give up every time.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so it's like, I would say it's like, dude, just be freaking relentless and like caring and adding value for years and years and years. And then you just like, the beautiful thing about that is you stand out so significantly because nobody else is doing it.
You have that resilience. You just keep standing up and getting after it. So give me a couple examples on, I know there's so many ways, but I just want to hear it from you of ways that you can add value. I know, huge question.
Well, dude, it's like, it's not even, work. It's based on the person. Like, what do you need? What do you got going on? How can I help you? Like, it's not even real estate related. It's just value. It's like,
Yeah. It's a need to know a person. It's a need. I need some of these things done. I don't have time. I you know need someone to go over here and talk to this person because I can't. I can't right now, and things like that.
everything. Yeah. Just whatever. Dude, like, what do you need? Like, hey, right now I need to raise capital. So that's what I need right now. But what I need tomorrow is a good barber. Like, who knows, man? Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Time
it's
and
just
place to ask the
caring.
questions.
Yeah, and it's like you're just getting aligned with people, dude. You're just getting aligned. I mean, life's like so short
Mhm.
and there's a lot going on, and like getting aligned is the key. That, I guess that's really how do I get aligned with you on where you're trying to go? Let me get there with you.
There you go. I love that. How do you get aligned with someone so that you can help them with the path that they're on? And that's going to be different for everyone and their day to day, but you have to go out and ask the questions.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Tons of takeaways. Appreciate you. I know you got around here as well. Um, as you're talking about how people can add value, where can people find you so that they can add value for you?
Yeah, man, I'm easy. Cell phone number 512-914-4806. Matt Teifke at Gmail, tr3capital.com. I'm really easy to hold of. And I'm telling you this, I really believe this. Like, dude, I've done a lot of podcasts, like probably like 500 or something. And like, you're probably the best one I've ever done. So I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you as well. I'm looking forward to the next conference we see each other, where that may be, and the next time we connect.
Amen, brother. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Path to Passive. We love connecting with our listeners and those on the path to architecting their wealth and improving their lives. Feel free to let us know what topics you'd like to see in future episodes. Get in touch with us through email or Instagram. See you next week for a new episode.